And welcome to another edition of the SLATE Special One Tuesday. I'm on. See, I haven't even been doing this for a full month yet, and I'm already screwing everything up and doing special editions of the SLATE. Yep. But I think tonight deserves a special edition. Tonight's edition of Impact Professional Wrestling absolutely deserves a little bit of attention, a little bit of love right here tonight. January. For the past couple of days, I have been screwing up my dates more than usual. Been doing interviews, been talking about September and December and stuff like that. So, but no, today it's December 8th, 2020. And it's the big one. It's the one that we've been that we've been anxiously awaiting to see what the fallout was going to be like. It's the Impact show immediately after that AEW show. Oh, you know which one I'm talking about. That one. Big thing, Kenny Omega showing up tonight. But you know who showed up here tonight? Here in the live chat? Thomas Gories. That's who. How you doing, Thomas? Cody Fosterling as well. How you doing? Manny Santos, my man inside WWE. Good to see you, Manny. Wrestling Jeebus, Mark. Yes, thank you. The meatloaf was delicious. Spot on meatloaf. My God, guys. Like it. Well, all right. We've got. Maybe I'll talk about the meatloaf maybe towards the end. Because we should talk about the wrestling stuff first and foremost. We've got, hey, Throwback is here, getting ready for his big stream, 8 p.m. Eastern. Right after this. Throwback, boys and girls, he's here. Good to see you, Throwback. Got Sean Taggart as well. Aaron Entertainment, hello. Welcome, everyone. What is meatloaf? Thomas? You've never heard, like, I'm not saying this disparagingly, because I know... I know you don't live in North America. You've never seen or had meatloaf before. We'll probably have to have a meatloaf segment at the end of the stream tonight. But first of all, let's get to it. Let's start by talking about the elephant in the room, the big thing, the big announcement that happened last Wednesday. Immediately after Kenny Omega defeated Jon Moxley on AEW Dynamite to become the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, he just booked it with Don Callis. This is just like, booked it. He hopped into a luxury SUV and announced as they were leaving that Kenny Omega was going to address what happened on Impact tonight. Pretty wild stuff, if you ask me. Everyone, like, as Tony Khan once said a couple of weeks ago in regards to the return of One Pack, this was landscape shifting. Everyone got excited about it. Everyone started talking about it. It's basically the only thing anyone's been really talking about and speculating on ever since then. What does this mean? What is this the debut of an Impact AEW relationship? Now we've known that in subsequent days, of course, that we found out that tonight's segment is going to be taped. Kenny Omega is not in the Impact Zone physically, but it will be taped. And it is an interview. The rumor going around is that it's about 10 minutes and it's going to main event the show. That's what we've heard so far. Hello, Carlos. Welcome to the chat. So that's in summary what we know about that segment. But I think we need to go back to last week, last Wednesday. I talked about it last Thursday on the main show on the MrWarrenHayes show every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. You know what was great about it is that everyone seemed to really get excited about wrestling. Everyone thought it was like it just blew open a whole level of possibilities. Of course, you had people, some of the usual business thinkers who were analyzing what does this occur? Is this possible? So on and so forth. But there was a whole contention of the internet that was just like decided to open the floodgates and be like, my God, look at what we could have here. Look at the matches that we could have. And even the talent were doing that. Jordan Grace, Impact talent, and she tweeted out something to the effect like, well, okay, I wasn't informed. I wasn't told this was happening. So she just listed a bunch of women's matches that she'd love to see between AEW women and Impact women. And that's fantastic. That's the kind of thing you love. Then next thing you know, you have Dax Hardwood tweeting out the North and the North responding back. I mean, these are, I wouldn't call them dream matches per se. You know, I think there's something next level about a dream match that I don't think exists, but there are matches that we can definitely be excited for, matches that are on wish lists. Let's put it that way. And I think, you know, FTR versus the North is one. I think FTR versus Motor City Machine Guns would be one. I think even the Young Bucks against Motor City Machine Guns, coming full circle with that story that they painted where the MCM gave them their first big break, big exposure on Impact. Like, they come in as champions, as world-renowned superstars. I mean, that'd be fantastic. You know, it'd be that perfect circle thing. And that's cool. And if anything, 'cause even myself, last Thursday, I was pondering, and I still am, frankly, what is the benefit for AEW to do business with Impact? I still don't see it. Like, I don't get what they get out of here. But clearly, Impact is going to benefit from a whole bunch of eyeballs on their show tonight. Eyeballs that maybe were there in passing, but there's a lot of people who are going to tune in much more with a renewed level of interest here. And that's cool. And even if they don't become, you know, even if they don't start ranking in the ratings, even if the idea of people getting their eyes on another wrestling product outside of one monolithic, gigantic corporation out of Stamford, Connecticut, if they can see what's going on, elsewhere and discover new talent, new faces, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think ultimately that's a win for fans. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, like some people were saying, that, you know, AEW is in the business of making wrestling better for everyone. AEW is in the business of AEW, first and foremost. So there has to be something for them to gain out of this. And I'm excited to see what, I don't know if we'll get an answer tonight. Probably not. But we'll see how things grow, how things develop. Like, I've even seen people say, at Final Battle, there's going to be an AEW invasion. And again, I think that's cool for Impact. But I don't see the benefit of AEW going on an Impact pay-per-view. That's kind of wild to me. It's wild to me. But the thing here is that I think it's okay to be excited. I think it's okay to be in a dreamy kind of mood tonight. I think it's fine. I think this is where we're at tonight. I want to say hello to Floman, who's joined us in the chat, and the First Lady of Mr. MrWarrenHayes Show, and the First Lady of my heart, Kristen Ashley. Yes, on a Tuesday. Am I on 5 days? Yeah, I am going to be on 5 days this week. I hadn't realized that. I'm going to stream every day today. Look at that. This week, I should say. A couple of super chats that popped in. Hello, Wrestling Plug, who's, hello, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. He says, thank you much for your help, you man. My pleasure, man. We just traded a couple of DMs, just a couple of quick questions, but my pleasure, man. Absolutely. Anytime. Evan Wright left us a super chat. Thank you again. He says, Warren giving into the peer pressure is the best because I had let float the impression that I wasn't going to do one. There you go. And some people are like, oh, he's not doing it. But I Anyway. Okay, let's call it peer pressure. Hey, you know what? I'm a man of the people. If this is what the people want, you got it. As the best friends remind us on a weekly basis, or at least every time they wrestle, you got to give the people what they want. Also, heads up that the Britt Baker segment from Dark was fantastic. She's so great and special. Of course she is. And I'm sure it was. When she tweeted it out earlier today, she was like, "It's Seniors Day on the show because Dustin Rose is going to be my guest," and I burst out laughing. It's the most Britt Baker thing. Thank you very much for the super chat, Evan. By the way, DGMC left us a super chat again. Thank you very much. He says, "Let Jordan Grace book an AEW versus Impact card. Hand her the reins. Let it fly into the hands of Jordan Grace." Yeah, absolutely. My goodness. So let's keep on going here. Let's keep talking. So, what is Kenny Omega going to talk about tonight? This is the thing I think everyone is kind of wondering. What's going to be the big discussion? And I can't say I know, right? I don't think anyone knows, except for those maybe who got some advanced stuff. But besides, if I knew, I wouldn't spoil it for anyone. Like the treat here is to tune in and be surprised with everyone, and I think that's part of the fun tonight. But Impact tweeted out live footage of a luxury bus arriving at the Impact Zone with Don Callis and Kenny Omega on board apparently, and I just laughed. You know, I thought it was great. I think it's great. So clearly coming in as the heels, it's gonna be wild stuff. That I'm excited to see. So clearly Kenny Omega is going to address. Kenny Omega is going to address what happened last week, and especially why Don Callis is there and why he's showing up on Impact. Because let's not forget, this is the kooky, crazy sidebar to all of this. The AEW World Champion will have his first public appearance as AEW World Heavyweight Champion on another wrestling promotions show. That's wild. Like that's the kind of level of stuff where, if they did that, like let's say in the territory days, that'd be grounds for war. So I'm curious to see how this is going to develop, and especially how AEW is going to react with this. Now, there was a report that was put out earlier today. It appeared on heelbynature.com saying that Tony Khan was going to appear on Impact Wrestling tonight. That was the report. Basically saying that let me see here. Let me pull it up. There we go. Yes, that Tony Khan was going to appear tonight via a paid advertisement along with Tony Schiavone to promote this week's episode of AEW, and he was going to speak on Kenny Omega's actions last week and why he's not interfering as the boss to keep Kenny Omega from appearing on Impact tonight. Now, since then, that report has been taken down off of heelbynature.com. So maybe it was just some bad info that he got and he decided to pull the report, but a few people did run with it. So don't blame me if this happens, but if it doesn't happen, you know what I'm saying? But if it does, the thing I want to underscore here is how cool in storyline mode this is, right? In as a storyline, is it's not just Tony Khan showing up on TV on Impact. No, he's like, no, I had to give Impact my money so I could show up. I had to pay for promotional consideration, and I like that. I think it makes sense. Like, so Impact comes across like, oh, bro, you got something to say? Give us some money. Buy a 30-second spot kind of thing. I love it. And it makes sense. Why would Impact let Tony Khan on? Like, Tony Khan was suckered last week. They're like, we're not going to get suckered like that Mark Khan. So I dig that kind of storytelling. Plus, kind of reminds me of what the NWO used to do, with their paid advertisements. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Let's see. Evan Wright left us a super chat again. Thank you very much. Omega retains at Triple Mania. Current AEW champ beats Rich Swann for the Impact title. Beats Aldis for the NWA. Challenges Ibushi for both titles. I saw that'd be wild. Like, I actually saw the theory of Kenny Omega, like, that's it, going to Triple Mania to defend his title. So because he's still the Triple Mania, what's it called? World of Wacky World Champion. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, so there's still that. He's still champion of that. And then the idea of him showing up at Wrestle Kingdom after Kota Ibushi wins the IWGP heavyweight straps from Tetsuya Naito, and then him challenging Ibushi for the straps. I mean, that's how you kick down the forbidden door, if you know what I'm talking about. That'd be wild. I'm not going to bet the house on it, but Jesus, that'd be amazing. That would be so good. I mean, it's wild to me. If that kind of stuff would happen, Kenny Omega showing up on at the Tokyo Dome, and you know what? In the personality that he's developing for himself right now, with all the accolades and just being very, very dickish. We saw, if you watch BTE this week, you see where he's kind of standing with the rest of his elite pals. They're not quite sure what's going on either. Kenny Omega goes on a title spree. Then he'll have earned his spot in the World Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. I mean, it'd be such good storytelling. And to think everyone thought Marty Scurll was going to be the great one to unite all the promotions together. Evan Wright left us another super chat. Thank you very much, Evan. He says, give me Omega and the Good Brothers versus Hangman and the Bucks, please. I mean, big old Bullet Club reunion there over on Impact. Just, the Good Brothers and the Bucks, Kenny. I mean, just that in about itself, that'd be great. Nice little wink, I mean, WWE gives enough Bullet Club winks, little nudges, Adam Cole and Finn Balor and AJ Styles, and you could lean into something here. Why not? Just do it. Anyway, that being said, I think there's a lot of great stuff on the way tonight. I said forbidden. I said the forbidden door. Did I? No, I wouldn't say forbidden. Oh, that's right. Jeff Jarrett was in the Bullet Club for a while. My God. Bring here. I know you don't lie, darling. I must have said for forbidden. Forbidden? Forbidden door. Break down the forbidden door. Break down the forbidden door. The Jeff, if we're gonna bring Jeff Jarrett, into the Bullet Club or back into the Bullet Club thing, we should also then let's get Cody Hall. Then he's former member, and he was pal with he was the Heat for the Bucks. He was their bodyguard or whatever. Sean, you're not helping. Sean is absolutely not helping. But I probably just said forbidden. Forbidden door. The for bread and door. So so there you go. So that's what we have to expect on that end. Now, guess what, motherfuckers? There's still a card with matches on it that are of interest. Cody Deaner is going to be facing Eric Young. Cody Deaner is a bit on a thing that he wants to prove himself. You know, he says, you know, he's not a nobody kind of thing, and he's going to go up against Eric Young, who's one of the top dogs in the company ever since he returned. We're going to get Josh Alexander versus Chris Sabin, and I mean, come for Omega, but stay for this match. Am I right? This is going to be fantastic. Of course, it's going to be great. I'm excited for this. I'm really looking forward to this one. This should be a lot of fun. Of course, Ethan Page and our boy Alex Shelley are going to be there as well. We've got Brian Myers, who's going to be facing net neutrality victim TJP. TJP is going to get into the ring, and you know what? It breaks my heart every time when I see TJP wrestling, just to realize that he cannot learn anything in the ring as he's wrestling other guys. It just really breaks my heart. Oh, you know how sometimes, here folks, you know how sometimes a wrestler's personality online, you know, you'll kind of be like, depending on what they are, you know, so I'm not going to generalize. I'm going to talk about myself. I try not to let their online personalities taint how I feel about them, unless it's really egregious stuff, like Jackson Riker being a racist, right? I don't like Jackson Riker because he's a racist, and God bless him if he served this country and he's a Marine and he could probably kick my ass. He's still a racist. TJP, however, TJP might be good wrestler, but I think he's a dummy. I think he's a dummy. And so the thing is that he's a really good wrestler. He's always been a very, very good wrestler, but he's a dummy. He's arrogant. I don't like him. Like on a very basic level, and it's not even heat. It's like, I don't want to watch this guy. So kudos for Brian Myers. I mean, hopefully Brian, after the match, you'll shake TJP's hand and say, thank you, sir, for teaching me all these great things. And TJP will be like, well, whatever, but anyway. We're going to get a tag team match where Chris Bay and TNA heavyweight champion Moose are going to take on Willie Mack and Impact champion Rich Swann. I am a Willie Mack guy till the end. I think that guy is fantastic. He's funny. He's charismatic. He can go. I like Chris Bay. I think Rich Swann is great. And Moose. Moose is okay. Moose does nothing for me. It's just that. But he's what is what. But I think this is the final first round match of the Knockouts Tag Team Title Tournament that they're bringing back. Are you guys ready for this? Here's how we go. Listen to this. Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly versus Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary. Now, if this isn't going to, as the kids say, fuck, I don't know what else. Maybe, look, this match, Jason Alexander versus Chris Sabin, those are, I think they're two must-sees here. And here's the thing. Oh, hello, Nikki. Welcome to the chat. And Jonathan Reyes, good to see both of you. Here's the thing. If you're AEW and you're doing a partnership, and you're doing a partnership with Impact, and Impact is like, what's the one thing Impact has that AEW does not have, and that is a fantastic women's division? I will say this. I am shocked, I tell you, that they're not doing more with their women's division than just, maybe they have another match up their sleeves, but not advertising as many, not advertising more matches, not getting more women's matches here at the ready. Maybe Maybe it was, could you imagine? No, I don't think Tony Khan would be like, so guys, do you think you could like chill on the women's matches tonight, because you guys are really, it's not going to make us look good, so if you just could chill. Like, I don't think it was anything like that, but like, if I'm Impact and I've got AEW eyeballs coming onto my product, I should pull out the one single thing that absolutely 100% differentiates me from AEW, and that is a strong women's division. You put Jordan on the card as well. You pull out Tennille Dashwood, because if you were a WWE watcher, you know who she is. I mean, there's so many things that they could do here. Put on Kiera Hogan, put on Tasha Steelz. Let's get some people on there. That being said, this match is going to rule. It should rule. There's no reason why this match should not rule. It really shouldn't. That's what we have on the card tonight. Looking forward to seeing what goes on. Especially, yeah, of course, the Kenny Omega stuff. But there's some great stuff here. I want to give a shout out to Tony of the Get the Tables podcast. He popped in a little earlier. He said at the time when he popped in, there were already over 5,000 viewers on Impact's Twitch channel, which is absolutely a record. Congratulations to them. And I am going to be watching the Twitch stream over on the Get the Tables live stream over on Twitch. Tony and his cohorts do this every week. They do a restream, a live watch along. Impact allows it, so they restream the video on Twitch, and you jump in, and and everyone talks, and there's commentary, and sometimes talk about AEW, talk about WWE. It's a good time, and I think I like Tony. He's been on the show a couple of times. Good guy, hustles hard. If you guys want to watch Impact tonight, you do whatever you want, but I strongly suggest heading over to twitch.tv/getdatables. And I'll be around. I will definitely be around. My fucking meatloaf was great. I do have to point it out. Hang on a second. You'll have to excuse you'll have to excuse the plate. This was the plate I served it on, so it's a little messy. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look at that. If that is not an absolutely beautiful meatloaf, look at how thick that is. That's 2 pounds of meat right there, ladies and gentlemen. Would you look at that? That's fantastic. And look at that glaze, a little barbecue-y. I decided to go out of the usual, I decided to go outside of the usual ketchup and vinegar, a little mustard, and brown sugar. I went for something a little more barbecue-y. You got that right. This is some thick meat. I'm very proud of my meatloaf tonight. Made some fantastic mashed potatoes to go along with that. Guys, gals, you know what the trick is? To really consistently beautiful and fluffy mashed potatoes, add 2 egg yolks to your mashed potatoes. Not the entire egg. You don't want the white. You don't want the whites. 2 egg yolks with some milk, and it's fantastic, the result that it gives. Every single time, 2 egg yolks. 12,000 viewers on Impact right now. That is exciting. I'm really excited for them. Hopefully they have their best foot forward ready here. I know I am. Folks, thank you very much for joining me on this impromptu Tuesday evening. I will be back tomorrow for another pre-show before NXT and AEW. Otherwise, Thursday is where I usually am. Isn't that right? Okay, I'm out of here. Where's the theme? I can't find the theme song. Oh, there it is. Scram. See you next time.